You see successful affiliates. They're loud, outgoing, always networking, constantly on camera. And you think, I could never do that. I'm too quiet, too introverted. So you assume this won't work for you. So you're interested in affiliate marketing, but every successful person you see is charismatic, high energy, comfortable on camera, always on engaging, right? And you're not that. You're quiet. You prefer writing to talking. You recharge alone. Large groups drain you. So you think you have two options: become someone you're not, or don't start at all. But both of those are wrong because there's a third option. You can succeed as an introvert, but not by avoiding hard things, right? Not by only showing up when you feel like it, right? Not by staying comfortable. You still have to be consistent, right? You still have to push past comfort zones. You still have to do things that feel uncomfortable. You just do them differently, right? So here's what actually happens when you use introvert strengths without excusing introvert weaknesses. You can batch create written posts and schedule them to go out daily instead of going live, right? You don't network at loud events, right? But you do build relationships one-on-one through thoughtful DMs and comments, right? You don't talk constantly, right? But you write consistently. Same frequency, different format. So instead of thinking you need to become an extrovert, you're leveraging your natural strengths while you're still doing the hard work. Instead of using introversion as an excuse to avoid discomfort, you're using it as a strategic advantage while still showing up consistently. Being introverted doesn't mean you get to skip consistency, right? It means you apply consistency differently. And wanting to avoid the loud, always on approach makes sense, right? That's exhausting for introverts. It's unsustainable. It's not how you operate, right? I'm an introvert too, right? I get it. The thought of daily live videos was terrifying. Networking events, exhausting, right? Being on all the time, forget about it, right? But here's what I learned. You don't need to be loud. You do need to be consistent. And introverts can be consistent without being loud, right? It just looks different. The key is using your strengths without excusing your weaknesses, right? Here's how you do that. Number one, batch create, but schedule consistently, right? You don't want to be on camera every day, right? That's fine. Don't be, right? Write 10 posts in one sitting, right? Schedule them out daily, right? Same consistency, less social drain, right? You still show up every day, your content does, but you create it one time during one focused session when you had energy, right? And that's smart. That's sustainable, but it's not an excuse to post randomly when you feel like it, right? Batch creating is a tool, not a path to avoid consistency. So you still commit to daily posting, you just create differently, right? Introverts often focus better in long, uninterrupted sessions anyways, right? Use that. Batch your work, but maintain the schedule. Number two, use writing as your primary tool, right? But still push past comfort. Writing is perfect for introverts, right? You think you think before you share, right? You edit, you craft your message carefully, and that's your strength, and use it. But here's what's not okay, right? Using writing as an excuse to never engage, right? Or never respond and never build relationships. You still need to comment on other people's posts, right? Answer DMs, build connections, right? That's uncomfortable, but do it anyways. You don't have to be loud, but you do have to be present. Introverts can do that through writing, but you still have to do it. Being introverted doesn't excuse avoiding the relationship building work, right? It just means you do it through text instead of video, right? Number 3, build deeper connections with fewer people, but still build them, right? Introverts naturally prefer depth over breadth, right? Smaller audience, real relationships, right? And that's actually an advantage, right? 100 engaged followers who trust you deeply will buy more than 10,000 passive followers, right? But here's the catch. You still have to put in work to build those deep connections, right? That means engaging, showing up, being helpful, answering questions, right? Providing value. You can't just post and disappear, right? You have to engage, even when it's uncomfortable, even when you'd rather be alone, right? Introversion gives you an advantage in building trust, right? But you still have to do the work to earn it, right? So how do you build an affiliate business as an introvert, right? How do you use your strengths without excusing your weaknesses? Your mindset is 95% of this. You need to stop thinking being introverted means you can avoid consistency. You need to leverage your strengths while still doing uncomfortable work, right? You need to understand that batch creating is smart, but hiding is not, right? But you also need strategy, right? How to batch create effectively, right? How to engage through writing, how to build deep trust without draining yourself. I created a free guide that breaks this down in 7 easy steps. Now, this is the guide I wish I had when I first started.